South African Robby 3 years ago, a climbing accident put him in a wheelchair. Doctors said he'd never climb again.
I can walk, but I can't trust my own body. I managed to shatter everything from the ankle down. I can't turn my feet outward like that. It's just a bit of a mess, really.
He gets a lot of pain in his ankles when he's walking long distances. It slows him down, it makes him slightly more clumsy, and all of those things together are potentially dangerous in this situation.
I took a fall at a climbing gym. It was the end of the night, we were just training, I wasn't roped in, I was maybe 3 meters off the ground, and I turned and jumped. I can't even say I fell. I turned and I jumped and hit the mat, toes first. Except there was a tear in the cover of the mat, and I went all the way down until I hit concrete, forcing my toes to go together and then backwards. And that's where my story would take a turn. There were 9 fractures in my left foot and 14 fractures in my right foot. I had ruptured 50% of my Achilles tendons, meaning the right one was almost sheared off the bone. I ruptured all of the tendons from my knees down. I was about to wake up the next day to the first of 8 surgeries. I would undergo over 300 hours of physiotherapy. You're unable to go and see clients in a wheelchair. You're unable to pay for the car you bought 2 months ago as it sat rotting in the car park. And then things would get worse. Fast forward 7 months, and on the 3rd of November 2006, I found myself staring down a handful of painkillers. Nothing. I had absolutely nothing. So there I sat, counting tablets. I made myself a deal. I knew 70 tablets would kill me. Anything less was not going to do a good job, and the only thought in my head was that my health insurance wouldn't cover a botched suicide attempt. So there I sat, 50, 51, 52. You know that you can't drink enough bleach into your system before your automatic response is to just bring it up again, so that wouldn't work. 53. I'm a Springbok Scout, I know every knot in the textbook, but I couldn't hang myself because I'd given all my climbing ropes to my friends who could use them. 54. You can't slash your wrists with a Gillette Mark III. 55. I couldn't jump off the balcony, that wasn't high enough, and that would just be painful and embarrassing. 56. 57. There were only 57 tablets in the bottle, so I was out of choices. Over the next few days, I would realize that that was absolute rock bottom. I couldn't lose anything more. This wasn't going to change, just like the world around us is not going to change. It's us that needs to make the adjustments if we wish to go forward. If I wanted to carry on forward, I needed to invent a reason to live. Just 2 years before my accident, I had Mount Everest tattooed across my back. It was a promise to myself to go and climb the mountain that I dreamt of as a teenager. Day one was when I had to make the decision to just get stronger, better, and tougher than I was the day before, by a little bit. You see, I wasn't able to solve the problem overnight, and I made myself a promise, something I'd have to remind myself of every single day. I went and got a picture of Mount Everest off the internet and put it on the inside of my wardrobe in my bedroom. I put the picture this high. Keep your goals at eye level, look at them often, and let them influence today's decisions. And every day I would look at that mountain because now I had a reason to get out of bed. I had a reason to wake up tomorrow slightly better, stronger, and tougher, and go for physio, and have the operations because now there was a goal. I was on my way to Mount Everest. On day 932 of this journey, this happened.
When you sign up for Everest, you realize the level of risk. You know that a rescue up there above 8,000 meters is close on impossible. You're running with the big dogs now.
As the early start.
The metal pins in Robby's ankles can barely take the impact of his crampons scraping against bare rock.
The amount of pain that's going to be involved for me to get to the summit is considerable. And I fear if I get to the top, I'm just hoping my feet will hold it together long enough to get me down.
Thunder! Thank you!
As Chris waits out the wave of illness, Robby climbs the last few feet to the summit.
Okay. Thank you so much.
We're just over the moon. 2.5 years project. And it's here. It's finally done.
For the 22 minutes I got to spend on the top at minus 47 degrees while the wind was blowing at about 90 k's an hour, I got to taste success. But on the way down and the years that followed after the mountain, I would learn about something that was way more important. But on the way down, I would learn more about significance, being able to do something that benefits others. I learned that working as a team and having the right people and the right tools around you was everything. Some days you kept the ropes tight, and other days people kept the ropes tight for you. The atmosphere on Everest is so thin that we actually have 25% of the oxygen that we breathe down here at sea level. I would learn to keep going. After one goal, place another one. That is sustainability. I woke up from my 8th surgery and the doctor was talking to my mother. The doctor's the guy who said, you can't climb mountains and you can't run. So after Everest, 2 years later, I would enter the Ironman. The winner did it in 7:45, and just 8.5 hours after that, I crossed the line. But I got the same medal that the winner gets, and that's what I loved about Ironman. It says finisher. There's no first, second, or third, just finisher. You get to decide what your limitations are. So I suppose resilience isn't genetic. Resilience is that little voice in the back of your head that says, tomorrow, we do it all again. I hope you've gained some inspiration and a little bit of energy to just keep going. No matter what life takes from us, it'll never take away our ability to decide how we're going to handle this. And that is the key to resilience. Thank you.